I was so
Jack,
confused.
Look
I
and
don't
see
know.
what tomorrow night is.
You're supposed to be at the new baseball stadium.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Opening
yeah.
night.
That's tonight.
That's
That's-
tonight's
All righty.
Well,
opening.
but
Oh.
we're here.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
here.
Oh, so
Good
now we're
evening,
here.
everyone.
Yeah, let's start.
Welcome to this evening's regular commission meeting, April 27th, no, May 11th. It's 27th up on the screen.
Oh,
so,
excuse us, sorry.
very good. So, before we get started this evening, we'll start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item this evening is the consent agenda. Everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes and the appointments.
I so move to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have a
Second.
motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. First item on this evening's agenda is to consider a request for snow fencing on First Street by the rodeo grounds for the Junior Rodeo on June 12th and 13th. Denise?
Okay, this is a request from the Junior Rodeo. This is something that they do every year. They're requesting that snow fence be put up from the creek all the way to through the rodeo grounds on First Street there. Staff has been told that about this, and so ask for your approval of that.
Thank you.
I move to approve the snow fence for the Junior Rodeo.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioners. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next item this evening is to consider a request for use of picnic tables and trash containers for the 2021 Heart Walk on June 19th, 2021 at 600 Medical Center Drive.
Okay, Commissioners, this is a new event coming to you. It is on June 19th. It's a 2021 Heart Walk. It's being sponsored by Newton Medical Center, and just so you know, this is on private property, and they are requesting picnic tables to be brought to private property. It is a public event, however.
And I'm sure there's been precedent before where we have done that. Is that correct?
There has been one time that we did that back in before, and it was for Kerner Heights, or yeah, Kerner Heights Church.
That's right.
But like Denise pointed out, the test would be whether it's a public event, not necessarily the public land, and none would be denied on that basis. So, right.
Okay, thank you.
I would move that we approve this request.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I'll
Do we have-
second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next item this evening is to consider a request for snow fencing at Washington Park and other city services for the Newton Mexican-American Fast Pitch Tournament on July 2nd through the 4th. Denise?
Yes, thank you. This is the annual Mexican-American Fast Pitch Tournament that happens on the July 4th weekend is when that takes place. They always want to have snow fencing that is put up at Washington Park so that they can have a gate to have people come in and out. And then they also request usually some extra handicap parking spots and that kind of stuff. The staff has worked with them for many years and know what their requests are and are able to handle those requests.
I move for approval of the Mexican fast pitch special event.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioners. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. We have another item for considering a request from the Harvey County Fair Board to close Main Street on July 29th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. for the parade and for city assistance with fair events.
Okay, and this is also a request that we have every year. Staff usually meets with the Fair Board and goes over all the requests that they have. They've got a list also in the packet of what they usually ask for, and we're requesting that you allow Main Street to be closed. We need to send that off to kdot for their approval to close that since it is a K-15, and then to have staff work with the Fair Board on the rest of the requests.
Gosh, how many years have we had that event? It's an amazing event. A lot.
And there's nothing to do in Newton.
Yeah, right.
I'll make a motion that we approve, I lost my spot. The request from the Harvey County Fair Board to close Main Street. Is that the one we're on? Yeah. On July 29th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. for the parade and for city assistance with fair events.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioners. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Next item, we will consider a proclamation declaring the week of May 16th through the 22nd of 2021 as National EMS Week. Chief?
Thank you, Commission. I'd like to introduce our medical director, Dr. Paul Bogner. I've asked him to read the proclamation. He's graciously accepted that invitation. Just a little side note, Dr. Bogner has been our medical director for 34 years now. I think he's probably the most senior medical director, if not maybe number 2. Are you senior or number 2? You're in the top. He's in the top 1%, 0.1%. But he does hold the prestigious honor of being the only general surgeon that is a medical director in the state of Kansas. So
That's cool.
with that, I'll turn the floor over to Dr. Bogner.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me to have this opportunity to present this proclamation. And with your permission, I'll proceed to read it.
Please.
To designate the week of May 16th to the 22nd, 2021 as Emergency Medical Services Week, whereas the emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to maintain as well as enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week now.
Now, therefore, I, Rich Stinnett, Mayor of the City of Newton, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 16th through the 22nd of 2021 as Emergency Medical Services Week, with the theme, EMS Strong, Ready Today, Preparing for Tomorrow. I encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I move that we accept the proclamation for EMS Week.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we will consider a proclamation declaring the week of May 16th through the 23rd as National Public Works Week.
Commissioners, I'd like to read the proclamation. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the City of Newton. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, solid waste systems, public buildings, parks, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the city of Newton to gain knowledge of and to maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2021 marks the 61st annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association.
Now, therefore, I, Rich Stinnett, Mayor of the City of Newton, Kansas, do hereby designate the week of May 16th through the 22nd of 2021 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health and safety and quality of life.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on this evening's agenda is a CDBG grant funding hearing.
Yes, Mayor and Commissioners. This evening, Mr. McCatten, the Development Director, and I are here to speak to you about this. We advertise this as a public hearing. The city is planning to apply to CDBG for approximately $150,000 in grant funds that would be then awarded in micro grants and pass through the city to businesses here in the community. This is in response to CV3, which is the third round of COVID funding. I would tell you we advertised the public hearing for this evening. However, in speaking to you all, there were two options. We could include the cost of the administration of the grant in the application, or we could pay for that separately and utilize all of the funds should we be awarded to pass through for businesses. And we elected to do that. So we had an advertisement for the public hearing that included wording that said we were going to include the administration. So we would ask that you table this item to the 19th of May. We have already re-advertised the public hearing. You are already planning to meet on the 19th as part of your budget work session. So we will hold a special call meeting, be very brief, just to hold the mandatory public hearing for this event, and it will exclude the wording that says we were going to include the administration funds. So Zach and I would be happy to answer questions you might have, but our request is that you would table this item to the 19th at a special call meeting at 8 a.m.
I move the table.
Okay.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Thank you much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next, Planning Committee.
Yes, Commissioners, believe it was the May 3rd, yes, Planning Commission meeting, the final plat for the kdot 522 edition, which is located on the south side of Southwest 14th Street and west of Anderson. This has been submitted by PEC on behalf of the Kansas Department of Transportation. The final plat was approved by the Planning Commission, and the drainage plan was submitted as well. It is now here before you for consideration as the final approval for the plat for the property in question.
So you'll need us to first receive and approve the recommendation.
Yes, if you are so inclined, we'd ask you receive the recommendation of the Planning Commission, and then if you have questions for us, we'd be happy to answer those now, but if not, ask for that motion.
I'll make a motion that we receive and approve the recommendations of the Planning Commission.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries.
And then could we please have a motion to approve the final plat?
I move that we approve the final plat.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next item on this evening's agenda is to receive bids and award contract for the roofing of hangars J and K at the City County Airport. Suzanne?
Yes, Commissioners, in April, the City and County Commission, if you recall, met and approved moving forward with the airport building maintenance CIP. And the first thing that was on the list that we wanted to move forward with was the competitive bidding process for repairs to hangars J and K on the roof. One bidder provided a proposal for the roof repairs. It is shown on the bid tab here that was in your packet. The estimate for all of the repairs to J and K combined was $128,420. That is under the estimate that we had in the overall CIP plan for the building maintenance out at the airport for these two specific items. This is an item that the city and the county would split the cost of the project 50-50. And remember, the city is bonding all of the projects together. For the entire building maintenance CIP, we would ask that you would award bids to Ray Roofing subject to county approval. They will be considering this item at their next meeting.
And did you receive any other bids, or
We did not. This was the only one.
did you, and I'm sure you reached out to the other companies, and
Absolutely.
what was their, did they give you any response?
No, not this time. We had, if you recall, we had bid this before, and the last time, last year's bid was over the estimate, and that bidder did not bid this time, and this bid is under their estimate.
Out of curiosity, did this bid last time as well, or?
They did not. You know, a lot of times it has to do with schedules, work schedules.
But contracts are written in a way we're not staring down the barrel of cost overruns and such.
No, we should not be. And we always send out to a large group of folks that are bidding on projects and out to plan rooms and things like that. So it's not that we're not notifying.
I'll make a motion that we accept and award the bid to Ray Roofing.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries.
Oh, yes, please.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Yes, it does.
Thank you, Ann.
Very good. All righty. Did we have anybody sign up for citizens forum? All right, thank you. All righty. Next item would have been citizens forum, having no sign up. That item is complete. So we'll go around the horn. Clint?
I don't have anything.
Rod?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
I would defer to Commissioner Valentine if she doesn't mind me putting her on the spot. I understand that we are in the presence of the Business and Professional Women's Woman of the Year, City Clerk
Yes.
Denise Dirksen. And so we are very pleased to announce that. And
Oh, yes, 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 I'm sorry.
yeah, so I saw Kathy's face and she was like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. So, yes, but we are very honored, and they could not have picked a more deserving person, in our opinion. This woman is a lot of the glue that holds this place together. And she's also, of course, as you guys know, the director of our fund. So we are very proud. And I neglected to let you guys know in all of these recognition weeks, last week was actually City Clerk's Week as well, but she did not want to bring attention to that, and that's just the humble person she is, but she's amazing. So.
Well, congratulations, Denise.
Great.
Chris?
I just have a quick follow-up item from last week. Citizen Doug Bruggeman came in with a question about motorized bicycles on the Sand Creek right-of-way. I have Chapter 15, Article 2 of the City Code in front of you. I printed it out. It's pretty straightforward. In short, it's not allowed, no motor-driven cycles on that right-of-way area. It's an unclassified violation. Just a couple options for the commission. One would be to leave it as is. It's not allowed. City staff will go forward with a couple means of education on the public, including signage, PD communication, et cetera. The other would be if you've got any questions on it for us to bring back maybe some amendments to it. Some things have changed since it was originally drafted in terms of the increased number of motor-assisted bicycles. We haven't seen them yet in Newton, but like the rental of the scooters, the Lime, and those that in a lot of cities are allowed on paths. So there's a number of different ways to attack it. If you want to table it and think about it, we can do that. And obviously we would continue to educate what's on the books, but I don't think that they're looking to necessarily cite people for this at this point without a lot of education. But it is fair game, and it is on the books, and it is illegal. So I know I'm kind of giving that to you cold. If you want to have any discussion about it, you know, like I said, we can come back with some amendments, or if you think it looks good as drafted and change it later, then we'll go forward on the education piece and try and resolve those issues.
I am always one for education first.
Right.
So I would encourage us to get the word out that, you know, hey,
Absolutely.
help your neighbor.
Absolutely.
I would agree.
And if you do have any thoughts as you get feedback or take a look at this and you want to talk about some revisions, we can always do that. It's not a problem. These rules, again, are particular to the Sand Creek right-of-way. There's obviously different rules throughout the city, but just wanted to answer that. And I have not responded to Doug yet, but I will tomorrow, and I'll give him an update on this.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Chris. Suzanne?
Commissioners, I would just bring to your attention, we found out today, and I believe Aaron will be putting a press release out, that the BNSF Railway is going to be doing repairs, leveling track at the First Street crossing and the Southwest 14th Street crossing. So those crossings of the railroad tracks will be closed beginning at 7 a.m. on Thursday of this week, and it'll be closed through 5 p.m. Friday.
We are grateful for their efforts to repair tracks in the community.
And there'll be detoured signage.
7 a.m. Thursday through 5 p.m. Friday?
Unless, of course, they get done earlier.
Right.
That's the plan, anyway. And that's all.
Thank you. Donna?
Well, if I look a little cross-eyed, I've been reading through the interim rules on the ARPA that's come out, the American Rescue Plan. Oh, my goodness. That's all I can say. There's going to be some hoops that we have to jump through to get anything done with this money, but it is money coming to our community, so we will figure it out.
I trust you to lead us through that. Thank you, Donna. Commissioner?
Nothing other than I'm just thankful for all that you all do for us and for this community, so thank you. Always.
Well, as is usual, our citizens are active and they're curious, and have been approached a number of times on if a permit has been pulled for who's coming in next to Freddy's.
Not that I'm aware
And
of.
I'm sure mum's the word, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Once the permit's pulled, it's public, so
Yeah.
as soon as we know something, you all will know something.
Okay.
So look, it's exciting. You know, everybody is out. Construction season is well on us. The new road and the inconvenience of the road being closed down with, what is it, Windward? And,
On Windward, yeah.
you know, so, but gosh,
Bear with us, it's going to be amazing.
bear with us. It's
Yeah.
going to be great when all that really comes in. So thank you to city staff and the commissions ahead of us that paved that way. So with that, this meeting's adjourned.